Hello collective, Amy Energy here with a tarot and astrology reading for you. This is a general reading, so use your own intuition, take what resonates and leave what doesn't. We're going to go through the chart of this moment, which is 7:15 p.m. Okay. That's in Tucson, so that's Mountain Standard Time. It's August 12th, but whenever you're meant to see this is when you are meant to see it, okay? Whenever you're seeing it is when you're meant to see it. All right, first house energy here. We got the 10 of Cups. I love to see it. Okay, we do have the asteroid Eros. It's in the 12th house, but it is really close to the ascendant of this chart, so I definitely see that being a big focus here is, our love life, our sex life perhaps, and what boundaries we're setting and where maybe we even need to loosen up these boundaries, because I'm literally hearing the Pussycat Dolls in my head, their song Loosen Up My Buttons. So if you remember that old jam. Okay, but you're really contemplating on your personal relationships, your one-on-one relationships. Okay, you got in the 7th house of this chart, we got Mars, Mercury, and Pallas Athena. So I feel like we are being very strategic when it comes to our partnerships. Also right on the descendant almost, right? Right now in this moment, we got a 20-degree Venus. Wow, conjunct the sun, right? Yeah, wow. Venus, Sun, CAZIMI. I didn't even realize that. Venus moved fast from the last time I looked at this chart. I didn't even realize we were sitting under this Venus, Sun, CAZIMI right now, and it's on the descendant of this chart. So the people who clicked on this reading, you've been doing some work. You're ready to show up, shine, attract someone new. So get out there, okay? Because this descendant is 22 degrees, and this Sun, Mercury, CAZIMI, or Venus, Sun, CAZIMI it's almost exact right now, right? It's almost exact. It's both 20 degrees. We got 20 degree, 42 minutes on the retrograde Venus. So it's backing up on this sun. It's going to back up right into the middle of this sun here. Beautiful. All right, we got Saturn coming out. So yeah, Saturn's in the first house of this chart that I cast for this moment. And wow, we're really contemplating a particular relationship, or maybe just the type of relationship we want. But we're taking action here. We could even be doing some spell work, all right? We're trying to attract the type of person that we want to have in our life. But this doesn't even have to be romantic. It could be, attracting a work situation, a situation where we're gonna feel comfortable, able to express ourselves exactly as we are. Okay. Wow, all these cards coming out. I definitely see and feel that some of us are at a standstill, having a bit of a power struggle, and I feel like it's not even with another person, it's with ourselves, right? Because we're holding ourselves back here from the world, but I feel like there's something false that's holding on to us. Like I'm not saying it's not real, but it's not something that really should be holding us back, is the feeling that I'm getting from this. And yeah, in the 2nd house of this chart, we have Aries North Node, Chiron, and Eris. So I definitely feel like, something feels like it's going to be difficult, and it may be, but I feel like it's mostly internally difficult. It's asking us to look at our wounding, our inner child wounding, right? And to recognize our magic, recognize the power that we do have over our situation, even if we've been heartbroken, right? You know what I've been saying lately, because I read Light Warrior by Kyle Gray, or I've been reading it, and so I've been saying lately, they didn't break my heart, they broke my ego, right? So when I see that 3 of Swords, I keep thinking of that phrase that Kyle Gray said. It's, your heart is always open. It's your mind, and that's why the 3 of Swords is swords and not Cups, right? It's swords because it's your mind that's not open, right? They didn't break your heart, they broke your ego. And this could be past situations, but in order to have this new situation, to have a new foundation, a new beginning with someone, to build something, to set something in stone, there's an aspect that we need to work through. Okay, but someone here, I feel like you got it bad for someone because music was on the bottom of the deck, and even just before I saw it, I was hearing Usher in my head. You got it bad. Okay, and I do feel like, you know, there's like, you're reminded, some of us could be reminded by music of certain past situations, people, we could be feeling super nostalgic, okay? But it's important that we, you know, stay optimistic, because I do feel like that's the most nurturing thing we can do for ourselves right now, is to try to stay in a positive mindset and, you know, allow ourselves some grace and some space. You know, I feel like let yourself be innocent is what I'm hearing. I feel like you don't have to feel guilty. Like, guilt isn't really that helpful of a feeling, right? Like, past the initial, like, I'm gonna make the change that I need to make, and then after that, it's really like you keep, like, to just continue to feel guilty. You know, I don't like that. I always love in Pride and the Prejudice in the 95 version when the dad says, you know, when he makes the daughter tells him, don't let my younger sister go on this trip. She's gonna, like, you know, she's too flirty. And then she goes and gets herself into some trouble, and her dad's like, you know, you were right. And, you know, she's feeling all bad for him. She's like, oh, Dad, you know, don't feel down on yourself. And he's like, oh, I'll no doubt I'll get over it, and no doubt sooner than I ought to. And I just always love that line, because I feel like, you know, he's acknowledging, you know, that he's going to get over it probably quicker than he should for the gravity of the situation. But at the same time, I think that, you know, we should all kind of try to forgive ourselves as quickly as possible, right? As long as there's changed behavior, there's no need to sit and look at what didn't work out, because looking at it and keeping looking at it isn't going to change it or make something better. So I feel like right now, we got Jupiter and Uranus in the 3rd house of this chart, and the 7 of Pentacles here coming out. I definitely see there could be some information coming in, some communication from someone within your community, and you could be really contemplating on whether this is something that, like, this could be an offer, okay? And you could just be thinking, which option should I go with? Where should I put my energy at this time? And it's difficult because we have the 8 of Wands in the 9th house. And in this chart, you know, there are not planets in the 9th house, but it is ruled by Scorpio. So I feel like there's something that you need to say here. There's something that we need to say, but it's very difficult to reveal something here. But we really want to share. We're very motivated to share with someone what we've learned by reviewing a situation, okay? And maybe we want to write a book or do something creative, right? It's the 9th house. So you may be even writing a book about this situation. So in that case, you know, it might be nice to ruminate on something, you know, to get that information and to work through it in that way. But we still need to make sure we're also focusing on the present moment as well, right? Yeah, insects is here. I feel like if you stay too long focusing on the past, you know, then you're going to quit doing your dishes. You're going to end up getting insect infestation in your house. And you're going to end up, you know, taking actions, I feel, that are not necessarily helpful for you, right? That could be kind of counterproductive. Okay, so I definitely feel like don't avoid what you need to work through, but also don't just sit looking at the past, because if something can't be changed, it cannot be changed. But do focus on what you can change, because you've learned, you know, you've actually come a long way. You're actually pretty close to your goal. If you can look at what you've done wrong in this situation and make the appropriate adjustments, you're going to be able to take the appropriate actions to push yourself forward in the direction that you need to go here. Okay. Coming into the 4th house of this chart, we got Vesta in Gemini, and I do feel like, you know, even though this is an asteroid and a lot of people may not put all the weight on asteroids, but you know, this is actually in this chart, it's making a square to Virgo Mars. So I definitely feel like and it's making a trine to this Eros conjunct the ascendant of this chart, and I'm just getting this very strong message where, you know, yeah, there's like actually a lot of aspects this is making. It's, you know, 20 degrees is a hot spot of this chart right now, right? We got the Chiron in Aries at 19. We got the Venus Sun CAZIMI on the descendant. Like, this is, I can't even believe this, that this is the chart I'm looking at. It's even making a loose trine to Ceres in Libra. So there's like a grind. Ooh, maybe some of you are going out to bump and grind this weekend, or maybe you're gonna bump and grind to my How to Live, Laugh, Love playlist, because it was for air energy, and this is a grand trine in air. Anyways, I'm getting distracted, but this is absolutely gorgeous. Like, this Vesta, to me, this is your spiritual path, and there's so much being illuminated. Like, if you really grab it and work with it. If you don't work with it, it might pass you by, but there's so much potential here for healing these wounds, getting to know yourself on such a deep personal level, getting in touch with your values in a way that's going to make your sex life better and make your ability to go after what you want stronger, make your partnership stronger. And look at that 2 of Cups, baby. Okay, this is equal give and take. We're realizing what we have to bring to the table. It's not going to be the same as what someone else has, and what someone else brings isn't going to be the same as what we have, right? We got different outfits on here, but there's still healing. We can still heal each other even if we're wearing different clothes and we have a different approach. Sometimes that's needed. So there's someone here, there's a very profound connection. That's maybe someone, this could be someone you're meeting this weekend during this CAZIMI, or whenever you're seeing this reading, because it is a timeless reading, even though I'm looking at the astrology of the moment, right? You know, I'm kind of reading the astrology through the cards, and, you know, so it's a little, you can use it. It's fluid. It's a fluid reading, but it's also letting you know some of the astrology in the moment if you watch it at that time. But I feel like you're really moving on from like painful past situations here. And yeah, this I'm looking at this Mars in Virgo and this Hermit coming out. I do feel like, you know, this Mars squaring Vesta right now, your spiritual path, like, it is challenging, because you're meeting someone who's like a soulmate connection, a very profound connection, and, you know, they're challenging you. They're making you look at aspects of yourself that maybe you didn't want to look at. Maybe you didn't want to work through these inner child healings. Maybe you didn't really want to see these things revealed through this CAZIMI, but you're seeing some very real changes that you can make in your life that can make your life better, and you're getting a lot of clarity. So while some of it may be triggering, you know, there is a lot of growth here that is, it's very, very positive. Okay, so collective, you are expanding, and allow yourself to expand, right? We got Jupiter coming out, and in this chart, Jupiter is at 14 degrees Taurus, and it is making a trine to Pallas Athena, also in the 7th house. Also, it's making this in conjunct aspect to that Ceres in Libra, squaring the Eros. So it's this interesting energy. You know, it's kind of different than what's going on with Vesta, but it's also making a sextile to the moon in Cancer when I'm recording this reading. So, you know, I do feel like through dealing with those vulnerable aspects, those emotional aspects, those really close to home, right? 4th house, moon things, by really addressing those situations and holding space for whatever comes up, we get greater expansion. And it's really, honestly, at this point, I feel like it feels kind of daunting, because it's like, this is the only way to get the nurturing relationships. That's the realization we're having, is that like there's one way to get what we want, and this is the way. And yeah, we have to do the uncomfortable thing, but if this is the thing that we want, this is the uncomfortable thing that we have to do. And it could involve some communication here. In the 5th house, we have this Knight of Swords coming out, so there could definitely be some communication. You could be carrying some burdens about a disappointment in the past. This could be your disappointment, or a disappointment that, you know, someone else was feeling about a situation that you were involved in. And I do feel like, you know, there's a new beginning here and new growth for you and this person once this communication happens. And I do feel like it's going to be difficult for you to communicate something in an effective way, because you're very kind of stressed out about this in the moment, is what I'm feeling. So I just want to say, you know, don't let your emotions run the show, because also in the 5th house of this chart is where the moon is in Cancer, and it is making a loose square at this moment, but a square nonetheless to Chiron in Aries. And you know, there's growth, there's things we can work through, but there's also definitely, I feel, things being triggered. And but this Mercury in Virgo is giving us a really good opportunity to think through things, right? To think through things. And Mercury is really pretty close to Pallas Athena here. Mercury's at 17, Pallas is at 15. Okay, so yes, there's some challenges with relationships, with how we want to be nurtured within these relationships, but there's also this ability to really think through and be strategic. So we don't need to be impulsive. We actually want to be, you know, more, you know, because we want to make sure our actions are effective. Okay, so now at a certain extent, we are going to just have to pull the trigger at some point and do something. So if a conversation is going to be a little clumsy to get it started, like, you know, that's fine. But we really want to think through what we want to say. And then if it's a little clumsy, it's going to be fine. We're going to have our script worked out. We're going to, you know, we're going to get our point across. But I do feel like there's just, there's a lot of defensive energy, and it could be coming off of two people here. But I definitely feel like one person does not see this coming. So we want to be gentle, okay? Yeah, we got numbers coming out, 4-0. You could be seeing different numbers, synchronicities, that are kind of making you feel like, you know, you need to take a certain action. All right, yeah, you're very intuitive right now too, 43 coming out. So you are very intuitive right now. Collective, whoever's watching this, whoever this is resonating for, you could be getting a lot of messages through your intuition at this time as well about where you want to go next with your life, okay? Yeah, I do see that this 10th house is ruled by Sagittarius, so I do feel like you could be changing careers, traveling for work, traveling to build something. But I definitely just see you taking charge of a situation. And, you know, I see that something helping you to take charge of the situation is your connection with angels, God, divine, whatever you believe in. Even just like if you believe in the universe, it's like you're seeing these numbers, these synchronicities. It's reminding you to trust in your magic, okay? And so that's actually really supportive energy right now that's available to you. And in the 6th house, we have the 3 of Cups. And that's actually, the 6th house is where this Sun, Venus, CAZIMI is happening in this chart, right? And so I definitely feel like, even though I feel like love is a theme here and there's a soulmate connection showing up, I feel like also work is a major theme. What are your values? Like, you know, I saw a message or a TikTok or something. It was Jim Carrey saying that, like, depression is when you, you know, when you're you're tired of the life you've created for yourself. Like it's a necessary thing for you to take a break because your soul doesn't like the avatar, the existence that you've created for it. Okay, so it's time to question your daily routine. Is it bringing you joy? What are your values? Are you living out your values? Do the people you surround yourself with have values that you actually respect and value and honor? Because that's gonna be the determining factor of whether or not they are safe people for you, right? I'm not saying they're bad people, but they may not be your people, because do they align with your values? This is the time where you're really questioning that, and you might be pulling back from certain people in your life. You don't need to give them information. You don't need to tell them what you're planning, what you're doing. You don't need their advice. You don't need to get their support, right? It's always nice to get support. Maybe we want to inform people before we act, but you know, when we're in the planning phases of something, we don't have to share all the details of what we're planning through, right? So let's get another oracle card. This oracle deck I'm using is the There Are No Coincidences deck by Aliza Kelly, and I highly recommend. I really love this deck. Yeah, music is coming out. Someone here, I definitely feel music is such a huge aspect of this connection. Like, I really feel like someone here like speaks to you through music, or you could get messages from God, Spirit, Divine through music. And I really feel like that could be, for some of you, it's a theme with Saturn in Pisces, that like music is going to come up in a big way. But right now I feel like we're not seeing that because we're still going through this like growth phase, where we're like, you know, we're kind of behind the scenes right now. But I do feel like music could play a big role for some of us. We could be musicians, and we could be wanting to align with people who are into a certain type of art or like artistic expression, whether it's music or something else. Also, for some of us, we are going through a challenging time, and connecting with like meditation music, like different music healing vibrations could be something that really is like supportive and helps y'all get through something difficult here if you do have some difficult moments. Okay, let's get some oracle cards here. I have the Airmail Oracle here by Sarah Stassi, and there is a link in my description box to find her Etsy store. She is such a talented oracle deck creator, so definitely check her out. She has a lot of decks. I only have a few of them. All right, we have be present. Yeah, absolutely. We do have to be present in this current moment. That's what's going to really bring on the expansion. Okay. And let's get an angel message from Kyle Gray's angel deck here, angel guide. All right, I do offer one-on-one sessions for tarot and astrology, so check out the link in my description box. I appreciate each and every one of you who gives my video a thumb up and a comment as well. We got manifestation. Yeah, I definitely feel like you are manifesting. I mean, your first card out was the 10 of Cups. So if you were called to this reading, you might be facing some restrictions right now with Saturn, but it's only so that you can change your perspective and really call in the big manifestation that you want, right? Like, I feel like Saturn don't want to give you no small apples. He wants to give you the whole orchard. Okay, so ask for it and you shall receive, baby. Okay, ask and receive. And let's get one last card here over this reading. Let me know if it resonated. Let me know if you are liking this style of reading for the collective. And if these readings are resonating for you, please consider joining my Patreon. I'm going to start uploading more collective readings there. But I wanted to offer them on YouTube first, just you know, to invite more people to see the videos and to join if they are resonating for them. Okay, so let's get our last card. We have, this is Stevie Nicks, Faith. Try making magic. So listen to Stevie Nicks. Whatever songs you choose to listen to will have additional messages you need to hear, and as well as Joni Mitchell We have Perfect As I Am, Authenticity. This deck is also a beautiful piece of art by Sarah Stassi, and you can order your own copy on her Etsy. So check out the links in my bio. I have her linked up there. And I wasn't going to do this, but because you do have love coming up in your reading, let's also get some love messages from your person. So take these with a grain of salt, all right? But let's see if your person here, if you got someone on your mind, if your person had the courage to speak their truth out loud, they would say it with their chest too. Like they're waiting to say it. Honestly, this could be their energy, this Knight of Swords. Like they're coming in hot to tell you, I never should have let you go. Or that could be something you, because it is showing up in your reading too. But someone wants to be more than friends here. So if there was something confused, if there was a third party situation, or you started thinking like someone was into someone else, or they just want to be friends with you, no. They might be holding back, but they actually want to be more than friends here. Someone is seeking revenge. So if you did put someone in a third party situation, or if the roles are reversed here, someone is seeking revenge. Someone is like, if you can go out and you can do it, so can I. So that could be going on for some of you, but only take it if it resonates, right? These are general readings. One last card. Okay, we got 2. I have been thinking about you a lot. I am falling in love. All right, that's what I got for you, collective. Thank you for being here and receiving this message. Whatever moment you are in, know it is a magical moment because you are there. Until we meet again, I love you. Take care.